Listen to me, every single morning you open your eyes, you got a brand new chance at life. You got another opportunity to get it right. You got breath in your lungs, a heartbeat in your chest, and a mind that still works. That alone is enough to start your day with gratitude. But here's the truth most people miss. Happiness doesn't just show up at your door. It don't come gift wrapped. It don't walk in your room and say, "Hey, I'm happiness, you ready for me?" No, you got to push yourself to be happy every single day. See, the reason so many people wake up miserable, angry, frustrated, and unfulfilled is because they're waiting on something to happen before they allow themselves to be happy. They're waiting on the job, waiting on the house, waiting on the relationship, waiting on the perfect body, waiting on the money. But happiness don't wait for perfect conditions. Happiness grows where you decide to plant it. You can't let your joy depend on what you don't have yet. You got to work with what's in your hands right now. When you wake up, the first thing you ought to do is tell yourself, "I'm blessed." Not because everything is perfect, not because you got everything you want, but because you made it. You survived things that could have broken you. You came through nights you thought you wouldn't make it through. You pushed through pain, disappointment, heartbreak, and fear. You might not be where you want to be, but you're further than where you were. That's a reason to smile. That's a reason to get up and say, "I'm going to have a good day anyway." Now let me tell you something real. Happiness is not a gift, it's a grind. You got to push for it like you push for success. You got to fight for it when life tries to steal it. You got to protect it when negativity comes knocking. You got to guard your peace like it's your paycheck, because once you lose peace, everything else starts crumbling. You ever notice how some folks can find a reason to complain about everything? The weather's too hot, too cold, the job's too boring, the pay's too low, the people too rude, the world too crazy. Let me tell you something. Complaining never changes anything. You can't complain your way into peace. You can't whine your way into joy. You got to work your way there. You got to train your mind to see what's good, even when life don't look good. You can't let what's happening around you decide what's happening inside you, because life will always throw something your way. Bills, pressure, problems, people, pain. But your reaction is what defines you. When life gets hard, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "Try me." Because every time you stand tall in the middle of the storm, you're proving to yourself that you can't be broken. And that feeling, that strength is happiness in disguise. Now, let's talk about something that's killing a lot of people's joy: comparison. You scrolling through social media, seeing other folks smiling, traveling, buying cars, getting engaged, eating fancy dinners, and you sitting there thinking, "Why not me?" But let me tell you something about that. You're looking at somebody's highlight reel, not their behind the scenes. You don't see their tears, their failures, their sleepless nights, their anxiety, their struggle. Don't let somebody else's chapter 20 make you feel bad about your chapter 3. You got your own story, your own pace, your own blessings on the way. Stop comparing, start appreciating. Start saying thank you for what's in your hands, because gratitude is the secret ingredient to happiness. You can't be grateful and miserable at the same time. It's impossible. When you start counting your blessings, you'll start realizing how rich you already are. Happiness ain't in a bank account. It's in your mindset. It's not in the clothes, cars, or houses. It's in how you choose to see life. You can have everything and still be empty, or you can have little and feel full. You decide. And that decision starts every morning when you open your eyes. You want happiness. Start controlling what you can control. You can't control people. You can't control weather. You can't control traffic. You can't control everything life throws at you. But you can control your attitude. You can control how you react. You can control the words that come out of your mouth. And if you speak life, you'll start to live life. If you speak faith, you'll start to feel hope. You got to talk yourself into happiness. You got to encourage yourself when nobody else does. Some days, ain't nobody coming to cheer for you. Some days, you got to be your own coach, your own motivator, your own best friend. You got to wake up, look in the mirror, and say, I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm going to make this day count when life gets heavy. And it will remind yourself that it's temporary. Every storm runs out of rain. Every night ends with a sunrise. You might be walking through darkness, but the light is coming. You just got to keep walking. Don't sit in the pain. Don't drown in the worry. Keep moving. Keep believing that better days are ahead. Now let's be real. Being happy don't mean you smile all the time. It don't mean you ignore your problems. It means you choose to rise above them. It means you don't let your emotions dictate your faith. You can cry and still have hope. You can struggle and still be thankful. Happiness is not pretending everything's okay. It's knowing that even when it's not okay, you'll be okay. Let me tell you something else. Stop waiting for people to make you happy. That's too much power to give somebody else. You waiting on a man, a woman, a friend, a boss, a parent, or a crowd to make you feel good, you're going to be waiting a long time. You got to be enough for yourself first. Because when you love yourself, when you value your peace, when you respect your own time, you don't beg for happiness, you build it. And part of pushing yourself to be happy is letting go of grudges, of resentment, of old pain. Because holding on to bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. You can't carry peace and anger in the same heart. One got to go. So release it. Forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Let's talk about dreams for a second. Some of y'all are miserable because you gave up on what makes you come alive. You got comfortable. You settled. You told yourself, it's too late, or I can't do it. But happiness grows when you chase your purpose. When you wake up excited about something. When you're building something that matters to you. You ain't supposed to just exist. You're supposed to live. You know why kids are so happy? Because they dream without limits. They imagine, they laugh, they play, they believe anything's possible. Somewhere along the way, we stop believing. Life knocks that out of us. But if you want happiness back, start dreaming again. Start believing again. Start taking small steps toward what sets your soul on fire. Don't wait until everything's perfect to enjoy your life. Perfection is an illusion. If you can't be happy with what you got, you won't be happy when you get more. Because happiness ain't about more, it's about mindset. You got to push yourself because nobody else can do it for you. You got to decide today, I'm choosing peace over drama, gratitude over complaining, faith over fear, joy over sadness. You got to talk to yourself like you're talking to someone you love. You got to lift yourself like you're your own best friend. Every day you wake up, life gives you two choices. Complain or be grateful, give up or go harder, be bitter or get better. Choose better. Choose joy. Choose to fight for your peace. And let me tell you something about the grind of being happy. It's not easy. Some days you're going to wake up tired. Some days you're going to feel like the world's on your shoulders. Some days you won't feel grateful, but push anyway. Smile anyway. Pray anyway. Move anyway, because if you keep doing it long enough, your feelings will catch up to your faith. Don't ever think happiness means no pain. Pain is part of growth. You can't have sunshine without rain. You can't have strength without struggle. You can't have progress without pressure. The difference between people who stay miserable and those who rise is how they see the pain. One lets it break them. The other lets it build them. Which one are you? You ever been through something you thought would destroy you, but later on you realized it made you stronger, wiser, more grateful? That's the beauty of struggle. It teaches you how to appreciate peace. It teaches you how to smile after tears. It teaches you that happiness isn't about avoiding pain. It's about surviving it and still choosing light. Don't wait for the weekend to feel alive. Don't wait for a vacation to breathe. Don't wait for approval to smile. Live now. Laugh now. Be grateful now, because time don't stop. Life keeps moving. Don't waste it being bitter about what you can't change. Use that energy to build something beautiful. And let me tell you something about mindset. Your thoughts shape your life. If all you think about is what's wrong, you'll never see what's right. If you focus on lack, you'll always feel empty. But if you focus on blessings, you'll attract more blessings. Train your mind to see the light even in dark rooms. If you want to change your life, change your morning. Don't start your day scrolling through negativity. Start it with gratitude, prayer, vision, or quiet. Set the tone before the world does, because your morning mood often becomes your day's direction. And if you ever feel like giving up, remember this: every person you admire, every person who made it, every person who shines, they had days they wanted to quit too. But they didn't. They pushed. They believed that even if today was rough, tomorrow could be better. And that's what you got to do. Push yourself to smile when it's hard. Push yourself to forgive when it hurts. Push yourself to hope when you're scared. Push yourself to be happy, even when the world gives you 100 reasons not to be. Happiness is a decision followed by discipline. You got to practice it daily. Like exercise for your soul. Speak life. Smile more, love louder, let go quicker, trust deeper. And hear me well. The world don't owe you happiness. You owe it to yourself. Nobody's coming to save you from your sadness. You are the one who can rewrite your story. You are the one who can turn your pain into purpose. You are the one who can say, I'm not going to live the rest of my life feeling empty. So, start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when everything's perfect. Today. Start by being grateful for breath, for the roof over your head, for the people who love you, for the lessons you've learned. Start by letting go of one thing that's been weighing you down. Start by doing one thing that brings you peace. Every single day, life gives you a chance to either grow or stay the same. Push yourself toward growth. Push yourself toward joy. Push yourself toward gratitude. You don't need a perfect life to live a happy one. You just need a determined heart, a grateful spirit, and a mind that refuses to quit. Happiness is not somewhere you arrive, it's something you build every day. So when you wake up tomorrow and the alarm rings and you feel that heaviness trying to pull you back down, tell yourself, not today. Get up, smile, speak life, push forward. Because every day you fight for your joy, you're teaching the world what strength really looks like. Remember, this joy is not found in things, it's found in you. Peace is not waiting at the end of success. It's built through the process. And happiness is not a miracle, it's a muscle. You got to treat it, you got to protect it. So keep pushing, keep smiling, keep believing. Because you got everything you need to be happy. Right here, right now. Don't wait for life to get easier. Get stronger. Don't wait for things to change. Change how you see them. Don't wait for perfect moments. Make the moment perfect. Push yourself to be happy every day, because that's the real success story. Gratitude fuels happiness. That's the truth most folks miss every single day, because we wake up thinking about what we don't have instead of what we do have. We open our eyes and our mind goes straight to what's missing, what's broken, what's wrong, and then we wonder why we don't feel blessed. We wonder why our joy feels empty. We wonder why life feels heavy. But if you just stop for 1 second and look around, you'd see how much you already got. You'd realize that you got air in your lungs, you got a roof over your head, you got a chance to try again. And that right there is more than most people in the world ever get. Gratitude changes everything. It flips the script on your life. It turns pain into power. It turns lessons into blessings. It turns ordinary days into miracles. But you got to train your heart to see it. You got to push yourself to feel it even when you don't feel like it. Because gratitude ain't about your circumstances. It's about your focus. It's about what you choose to see when everything around you looks uncertain. You can be standing in the middle of chaos and still say, I'm thankful because I know God's not done with me yet. I know I've been through worse. I know I've survived too much to let this moment steal my joy. And that's where happiness begins, right there, in that decision to see light when it's dark. See, the reason gratitude fuels happiness is because it shifts your mind from lack to abundance. It reminds you that even if you don't have everything you want, you still got everything you need to start, and that's a blessing, because the happiest people on this planet ain't the richest, ain't the prettiest, ain't the most famous. They're the ones who look at what they got and say, thank you for this breath, thank you for this meal, thank you for this chance, thank you for this day. And when you live with that kind of heart, life starts to open up in ways you can't imagine. You start attracting peace, you start attracting joy, you start attracting people who match your light, because gratitude is magnetic. It pulls good things toward you. It multiplies what you appreciate, and that's the secret. That's the real success story. Some folks keep waiting for the big stuff to be grateful. They say, I'll be thankful when I get that job, when I buy that car, when I move into that house, when I get that ring. But that's not how gratitude works. Gratitude starts with the small. It starts with the little moments, the little blessings, the things you overlook every day. The sunlight on your face, the laugh of a child, the comfort of a meal, the sound of rain, the hug from somebody who loves you, the text from a friend checking on you. These are gifts. These are reminders that life still loves you, that the universe still cares for you, that grace still surrounds you, but we move too fast. We rush through life so focused on what's next that we forget to thank God for what's now. You got to slow down and recognize your blessings, because happiness doesn't grow in noise. It grows in awareness. When you become aware of how much you've already been given, you stop chasing and start living. You stop envying and start appreciating. And suddenly, peace shows up, joy shows up, love shows up, because you made room for it by saying thank you instead of why me. Gratitude turns your whole attitude around. It softens your heart. It heals your bitterness. It removes envy. It erases that feeling of not being enough, because when you're truly grateful, you realize you already are enough. You realize you already got something valuable, and happiness can finally breathe inside that space. Now, let me tell you something real. Gratitude ain't just saying thank you when things are good. Anybody can do that. Real gratitude is when life punches you in the face and you still say, I'm blessed. When you're in the valley and you still whisper, thank you for waking me up. Thank you for another shot. Thank you for the lesson inside this pain. That's gratitude. That's faith. That's strength. Because being thankful in struggle is what transforms the struggle. It don't change the problem, but it changes you. It builds resilience. It gives you peace that don't make sense. It teaches you how to smile even when tears are falling. Gratitude don't erase storms. It just gives you the umbrella of perspective to stand under. It helps you understand that even when it's raining, you're still covered. Even when it's hard, you're still growing. Even when it hurts, you're still blessed. We live in a world where people forget how far they've come. They look at others and think they're behind. But let me ask you something. Remember where you were 5 years ago. Remember how lost you felt, how scared, how broke, how confused. And look at you now. You might not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be either. That's progress. That's grace. That's something to thank God for. Gratitude reminds you that you've already survived 100% of your worst days. And that's something to be proud of, because you're still standing, still trying, still breathing, still fighting, still believing. And that right there is happiness, because happiness ain't about perfection. It's about persistence. It's about saying I'm grateful for every scar because it means I healed. I'm grateful for every tear because it means I cared. I'm grateful for every failure because it means I tried. And when you think like that, no situation can break you. Gratitude fuels happiness because it keeps your heart humble. And a humble heart is a peaceful heart. When you think you're owed something, you're never satisfied. But when you realize you deserve nothing and still get blessed every day, your whole spirit shifts. You start seeing miracles where you used to see complaints. You start thanking life instead of blaming it. You start saying, I'm lucky instead of I'm cursed, because you realize that joy isn't something you chase, it's something you recognize. Some people wake up every day chasing happiness like it's hiding somewhere. But happiness ain't hiding, it's right in front of you. It's in the gratitude you refuse to feel. You know what else gratitude does? It humbles your ego. It reminds you that you didn't get here alone, that somebody prayed for you, somebody helped you, somebody believed in you, somebody forgave you, somebody taught you. And when you remember that, you stop complaining about what you lack and start honoring the people who carried you when you couldn't walk. Gratitude reconnects you with love because it shifts your focus from yourself to others. It reminds you to appreciate, to acknowledge, to say thank you to the people who make your world brighter. And that's real happiness, because happiness grows in relationships rooted in gratitude. We got people walking around angry, jealous, empty, and they think happiness is a new car or a bigger house. But if your heart ain't grateful, even a palace won't make you happy, because you'll always want more. You'll always find something missing. But if your heart is grateful, even a small room feels like a kingdom, because you've learned to see the beauty in simplicity, the joy in enough. Gratitude teaches contentment, and contentment is peace. When you live in gratitude, you stop living in hurry, because you're no longer running after something to complete you. You realize you already got enough. You slow down, you breathe deeper, you smile wider, you laugh louder, you love stronger, because you're not focused on the next thing. You're fully present in this thing. Gratitude pulls you back into the moment. It makes you appreciate what's happening right now instead of worrying about what's next. And that's happiness, being fully alive in this breath, not stuck in yesterday's pain or tomorrow's fear, but right here, right now, thankful. Every morning when you wake up, you got two choices. You can focus on what's missing or focus on what's present, and that choice determines your peace for the whole day. So start your morning with gratitude. Say thank you for another sunrise. Thank you for the chance to do better. Thank you for the lessons that shaped me. Thank you for the strength I didn't know I had. And watch how your day shifts, because gratitude sets the tone. It reprograms your mind. It gives your spirit energy. It attracts goodness. It makes you glow different. It makes you handle stress with grace. It gives you patience when people test you. It gives you calm in chaos, because a grateful heart don't get shaken easy. When you live with gratitude, you start to notice beauty in small things. You start to enjoy the little victories. You stop rushing for the next big thing, because you realize that joy is not at the destination. It's in the journey. It's in every step, every breath, every act of kindness, every word of love. Gratitude teaches you to value what truly matters: peace, love, connection, growth, faith, all the things that money can't buy. Gratitude reminds you that even in struggle, there's something to thank life for, because struggle builds you, pain teaches you, loss refines you. And gratitude makes sure you don't miss the meaning behind the moment. Gratitude fuels happiness, because it keeps your focus on abundance, and what you focus on expands. So if you focus on lack, you'll live in lack. But if you focus on blessings, you'll live in blessings. Gratitude is like sunshine for your soul. It lights up dark thoughts. It melts away bitterness. It makes room for joy to bloom. It strengthens faith. It deepens relationships. It calms anxiety. It grounds you when life shakes you. It whispers peace when chaos screams. Gratitude is the bridge between struggle and serenity, between heartbreak and healing, between stress and strength. You know, sometimes we go through seasons that break us just so we can learn how to be thankful for things we took for granted. You never realize how precious health is until you get sick. You never realize how valuable peace is until you lose it. You never realize how powerful love is until it's gone. But gratitude brings all that awareness back without you needing to lose it again. Gratitude says, I see it now, I feel it now. I don't need to wait for loss to learn appreciation. I'm thankful today. When life feels heavy, gratitude lightens the load, because when you focus on what's right, what's wrong loses power. Gratitude teaches perspective. Maybe that rejection was protection. Maybe that delay was direction. Maybe that pain was purpose in disguise. Gratitude helps you trust timing. It helps you stop asking why and start saying thank you, because deep down you know that everything you've been through was preparing you for something greater. And the more grateful you become, the more peaceful you get, because gratitude and anxiety can't live in the same heart. One always pushes the other out. When you start your day in gratitude, problems don't shrink, but your strength grows, your spirit stands taller, your reactions become wiser, because gratitude gives you emotional balance, it gives you clarity, it makes you stronger than your circumstances. So every time you feel frustrated, take a breath and find one thing to be thankful for. It could be small, it could be simple, but it'll shift your energy. You don't need a perfect life to be thankful. You just need eyes to see what's good, a heart to feel what's right, and a spirit to say thank you, even when you don't understand the plan. Gratitude fuels happiness, because it's not an emotion, it's a decision, and every decision builds the life you live. The people who live with gratitude don't have fewer problems, they just refuse to let problems blind them to blessings. They've trained their mind to look for light, to celebrate progress, to find joy in the middle of the mess, and that's where happiness truly lives. In a grateful heart that keeps saying thank you no matter what.